you might be able to hear this wild pork beginning to sizzle. Basically the old cast iron Dutch kettle.
Welcome to A Sportsman's Life. We're so glad you tuned in to join us for another exciting real-world outdoor adventure right here on A Sportsman's Life.
Well, friends, we're going to try to get on a hog this evening. We're using a primitive bow. This is a bow my friend Cy Corti had made for me. I think you probably saw the episode where he presented this to me several months ago, and so now it's time to put it to use. It's a 50-pound bow. He calls it the Copperhead, and it's made with Osage wood and topped with some leather material. Almost looks snake-like, and it's a very primitive bow. So we're going to get this strung up, and we're going to see if we can't get on a hog tonight with a primitive bow. So stay tuned here, folks. I'm going to get this thing dialed in. I'm going to take a few shots as well. Always good to practice. I've shot it several times already, but we're going to shoot it a few more times because when you get a hog in there, you want to be ready. So see what happens. All right, let's get this thing strung up, and then we'll take a few shots. How's that sound? Make sure it's on there good and snug and correct. Yeah, there we go. All set. We are ready to go. All right. Let's go take a couple shots. I keep hitting just a little left of center. I don't know, I guess it's just my pole, but if I stick to my form, I should be good. So hogs, look out. If we get one to come in tonight, we're going to be sitting there with the longbow, the primitive bow, and we're going to see if we can't make something happen tonight. This is some fun stuff. You know, get out and do this stuff the hard way is what I always say. Yeah, I like to get out there with guns, don't get me wrong, it's a lot of fun. There's different ways to hunt. I mean, whether you're hunting with a gun, compound bow and arrow, a primitive bow like this, or a spear. It's just fun to do things differently and try different ways to hunt, and it can be really rewarding, especially when you harvest an animal with a primitive type bow. Boy, I find that to be very, very exciting. So we're shooting good, we're all set, we're dialed in, and we just need the sun to dip, and we dumped a little extra corn at that feeder down there, so I think they'll be in there this evening. They were in there last night for the longest time, so if we got a little extra corn in there, we'll get ourselves situated and see if we can't get on one. Whew! Yeah, it's a warm one out here, all right.
they came in. Unfortunately, it was one of those deals where, man, it was close. They were about 20 yards, I'd say. I shot a little bit high. In shooting primitive bows like that, there's no sights on them. It's just repetitive. You have to shoot a lot, and I do shoot quite a bit, but unfortunately, maybe not enough. Maybe I need to get back and start shooting again just to get my rhythm down, because when you encounter a situation like that, you want to be ready and be able to make that shot. So unfortunately, we didn't here tonight. So thank you for joining us. I am off to get some barbecue. Brought to you by Dallas Safari Club, Conservation, Education, and Hunter Advocacy. Hornady, accurate, deadly, dependable. Taurus Firearms, maker of the Raging Hunter. Trigicon, brilliant aiming solutions.
Folks, this outdoor cooking does not have to be complicated at all. You might be able to hear this wild pork beginning to sizzle. Basically, the old cast iron Dutch kettle, some B&B pecan wood. That's some really dry wood, good wood to cook with. Pretty simple. We're going to let this cook in the Dutch kettle. Let it brown on both sides. I'll turn it over here in a minute. I'll show you what it looks like when we brown it. Basically, it's just seasoned up with dry seasonings that I like. Not barbecue. We just want to cook this pork so it's real tender. We'll put a lid on it here in about, well, after we turn it, after we brown it on both sides. And then in about 2 hours, I'm going to hang it up a little bit higher up on this makeshift rack. See what we've got here? Pretty simple. We'll hang it up a little bit higher and let it slow cook with a lid. Okay, my friends, we have turned this pork over. We're going to brown this other side of it here. Got a good fire going. Of course, this fire will die down. I want it to be a little higher right now so it'll brown both sides of this pork, and then we'll put the lid on this Dutch kettle, raise it up. We're at a lower heat setting right here. We'll raise it up to this, up a bit higher here on this thing, and then we'll let it slow cook for, I don't know, a couple of hours. It's not going to burn at a low temperature. And this is going to be some tender wild pork. Sometimes wild pork is a bit tough, you know, it can be hard to get tender, but a Dutch kettle, a little moisture in there like we have right here in probably an hour or so, this meat will be fall off the bone tender. Okay, we'll put a lid on it now and let her cook. And there we go, my friends. We've got the lid on the old cast iron Dutch kettle. We don't have to put coals on top because, as you see, we've got a bunch of wood under here that's going to burn down and just cook real slow. So we'll pull the lid on this thing. I'll check it honestly in about 45 minutes, but probably turn it one time. We'll take a look at the finished product. I wish all of you were here to help me enjoy this, because kind of method that I've used many times cooking wild pork. It's going to be tender and it's going to be tasty. Okay, folks, here we go. I tell you what, I've sampled this stuff. I've actually done more than sample. I ate one of those others over there. Is wild pork good to eat? Yeah, it is. I tell you what, best of Texas barbecue sauce right here, folks. I absolutely love it. This is not barbecue, but I gotta have some more of this on there. Actually, I put a lot of it on there. I need to open another jar of this. I eat this stuff big time. There we go, folks. I don't think outdoor cooking could get any simpler than this, do you? I wish you were here. Got those other two right over there in the Dutch kettle. I could plate you up some, but I'll be forced to enjoy it myself. Let's move on with our show, see what Jeff and Larry's got in store.
A Sportsman's Life is also brought to you by Air Force Air Guns, AGM Global Vision, H3 Whitetail Solutions, Pyramid Air, Gear the Hunt, and Horizon Smokers.
Good morning, folks. This is Bill Carey with Striper Express for this week's fishing tip on a Sportsman's line. Let's talk fishing line. We just got a shipment in. Let's start with the old Fireline braid. It's been around for 100 years. It's good braid if you like braid. Now, Trilene XL. We use this on all of our spinning tackle. Been around forever. It works great. But Berkley has come out. This is the second time we've ordered it. Pro Spec Chrome. This is 16-pound test. It is working on spinning reels just fine. Bait cast, of course. Something you might check out. Pro Spec Chrome. Now, our #1 standby bait casting is Trilene Big Game. That's a big old spool, isn't it? But we use lots of it. It is tough as nails. Works good in hot, cold weather, just all around line. You know, that's 11,000 yards. So, there's our fishing line and our fishing tip with Sportsman's line. Go catch a fish.
Conservation Today is brought to you by Hayden Outdoors Real Estate, the brand that sells the land. Visit HaydenOutdoors.com to find or sell your farm, ranch, or recreational property.
Well, that about wraps up our seeding. We've got all our seed down, and now all we got to do is come back with the harrow, and we're going to turn this soil and cover the seed we just dropped. So little food plots like this, as you can see, I got a ladder stand off in a distance there, and just these little food plots like this off the beaten path, someplace you have cleared, or you can get in there and disc it up a little bit and get your soil conditions right and plant in here. These are fantastic places to shoot a nice deer.
Have this afternoon the opportunity to talk to the guys over at Double Nickle Taxidermy, and we've got John right here. And John, what I'd like for you to do is tell me, I love the work that you do. Y'all do all my work. I wouldn't tell you anywhere else. And to me, there's no finer taxidermist in terms of what the product that you guys do, but also the service and how y'all really do things.
Well,
so
thank you.
What I'd like to do this afternoon is have you tell those who maybe have a taxidermist or don't have a taxidermist in particular, and they finally have taken a buck like it's there off your right shoulder.
Yeah.
What do they do to make sure that it looks like that by the time you guys have an opportunity to finish it?
Yeah, well, you know, the most important thing a lot of times is the field care prior to it getting to the taxidermist. Once a cut's been made, or if the hide's gotten too warm, we can't help any of that at this point. So a couple of the main things, especially here in Texas, is keeping the animal cool. If you're able to have a cold storage or a walk-in cooler on the ranch that you hunt on, that's going to be your first bet, just to get the animal cool. And overnight usually is just enough to get the animal chilled to where the hair won't slip. If you don't have that opportunity, then the best thing to do is get the hide off of the animal as quickly as you can. Looking at this mount, usually if you come up to about 6 inches behind the shoulder, make a cut around the belly and peel everything forward. Don't make any more cuts, and bring the head in with the cape to the taxidermist. That's going to be the best option. If you're not comfortable with that, we offer the service here. If you bring the whole animal in, if you just aren't wanting to make any wrong cuts or any mistakes.
And they can actually just wrap it up, put it in the freezer too.
They can put it in the freezer.
Unless the animal's too big to put in the freezer. Let's hope
that's a good problem to have. Yeah. But no, you know, the main thing is, here in Texas especially, it could be 90 degrees in December. So just keep it cool, because once the hair starts slipping, there's not much that can do. A cut can be fixed usually, but just being time sensitive with the animal, getting it cold. Like I said, if you don't want to make any cuts, you can give us a call or call your taxidermist, and they can usually walk you through getting the skin off of him to where you can fit him into a freezer or cooler.
So it's really kind of simple. In a lot of places I know some guys know how to cape a deer.
Yeah.
Some people don't. Maybe they're hunting a guided hunt. They should be able to, so they can freeze the cape.
Yeah, and do your homework ahead of time. Get set up for success before you go on your hunt. Plan on harvesting an animal and having the issues of what am I going to do, where am I going to do it. Talk to your outfitter if you have one. If not, like I said, do your homework. There's a lot of YouTube videos, and there's different things online that you can probably pull up in the field, and they can walk you step by step where to cut, how to skin it, if you're out on your own.
And if they're kind of concerned about it, they can also get in touch with you or somebody here at the shop, right?
We're available pretty much 24/7 during deer season. You can call the shop here, and we can walk you through the process of making the right cuts and what to do with it, and how to get it here or wherever it is you're going.
John, y'all have got a website too, don't you? And actually, if I recall, there's a diagram there that shows where to make those cuts.
We have a diagram on there. We have some literature here we hand out to a lot of customers where there's directions on there they can follow and take into the field. So our website's Double Nickle Taxidermy, all one word.com, and you can go on there. It has our address, our phone number, email. You can contact us anyway.
One thing I will say at the end of this, if you want to have your deer mounted to where it looks like a deer,
well, thank you.
and the one that will last for generations, this is a place to come. It's Double Nickel. You heard where the website is, and I hope you guys end up bringing a truckload of animals here to John, to his guys, to finish off.
Two of us, yeah. Yes, sir.
Best of luck to everybody out there.
Thank you.
We've got a snap block blind right behind you, and I was just getting ready to kind of clean things up, get ready for deer season, and I walked up to that thing, and out came a wasp and just absolutely nailed me on the shoulder. So we're sitting here, got two wasps looking at me, sitting over there on the blind. Now there's three. There's obviously a wasp nest in there, so first tip of the week is bring wasp spray when you first go in. So yep, there's more coming. So we've got a wasp nest in there. You got to be checking this stuff out. I use this blind regularly. This wasp nest hasn't been here very long, so avoid stuff like this. That kind of hurts. Got a pretty good welt going there already, so I'm gonna fight back, folks. All right, I think we got him.
Folks, thanks so much for joining us. This segment of our show is brought to us by Gearhead Archery, Snaplock Hunting Blinds, Smoking Texas Electric Smokers, TRHP Outdoors, Ultramatic Feeders, and Catfish Pro Catfish Bait and Catfishing Supplies. Make sure and tune in next week. We'll have another exciting show ready to go for you.